Hello guys, Thor here. In this video I'm gonna talk about SEOW. Not just ordinary one, but I'm gonna talk about SEOW in dogfight mode, which was apparently impossible in its default version, which was made only for co-op, of course. So let me give you some background why and how. So you probably know that when you play co-op missions, players need to come to the server, they need to press a ready button, and everyone starts at the same time. What's the problem with it? Well, in years we were playing these COW campaigns. We usually had some time when the mission launch is. This window was definitely broken almost every time, and usual waiting time was like 30 minutes after the original time we planned to launch the mission. The reasons were, of course, different different ones. My computer crash, lost connection, tracker not working, joystick not plug in, and this usual stuff, you know. And why did we actually make these restarts? Because these missions were usually once a week, and we didn't want to leave anyone behind if it's possible to restart, and of course it is possible to restart. However, there were many situations where we were playing with the guys from different zones who were waiting for the event, and maybe their starting time was much later than in zone we are playing, which is European zone, Central European zone. That's why this was kind of a problem, especially on the longer missions. So what and why what I have tried to achieve with this dogfight mode version? Of course, the obvious things. I wanted to have a COW where players could connect later after the game has already started. This would allow guys with latecomers, let's say, and the guys who had all of these problems I already said, to actually participate in the mission and play their role. So, what's the difference between dogfight and co-op? Of course, the difference is uh, we can start from the missions, how mission look like by themselves. So this is a usual co-op mission. As you can see, every flight has a regiment names, and we are basically picking these slots when we are connected to the server. On the dogfight version, we don't have anything except there could be AI things which has AI only directive in this flight descriptions. So in this dogfight mode we have just bases, like born places, they call it born places, and these born places have some aircraft types, and they could have limitations, like how many of these are actually present on these spawn points. So this is the main difference between the mission, how they look like. Also, the difference is the co-op version is producing a different log. It's the same for the ground war and not the same for the air war. We cannot go through COW if we are not having the regiment codes, and that's kind of that's kind of a problem, because over there you can have AIs, but you will only have like BF 109s killed whoever, F4 for example. So what can we do with this? We can do nothing with it. Also for the players, it will have like a Warp Tor, SBD3 killed whatever. So this also means nothing to COW analyzer. So this problem have had to be overcome to somehow. So I asked guys on SAS forum if someone could, because I'm not a programmer and I have no clue how to do this except trial and errors. And I asked guys on the SAS forum if possible that some of them actually make a game possible through mod or whatever to be able to return event log which looks like in both versions the same, like uh, to 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 actually force the dogfight server to return log which would look like as coop version. That was the main idea. So everyone over there, whoever was involved heavily in modding that game through the time, and thank them for that. But they simply didn't care about it, because new game, Great Battles already came out, and it was not something someone would waste time on it. So I tried to do that myself, and of course after a million trials and errors I did that. So let me show you these files. Okay, let's go to game. To be able to do that, you need files on the server. These files should be activated through GSGME thing, and basically these are these Java things which will give us ability to have event log which looks like almost the same. It cannot be done for any human players, which will still have like Warp Tor, F4, and that's it. So to overcome the player situation, my friend Untamo made me a converter which will go through the event log files and give every human a flight, let's say, sort of a regiment name. And in the database later I will explain you how this is achieved. Okay, so let's go back to the files. DF. Okay, so this thing needs to be activated on the server. For the clients, basically they don't need to do anything. However, if you are using the co-op version, I'm sorry, not the co-op version, but if you are using carrier ops, it would be I would encourage you to use these files, because they will completely disable event log on the client side. Meaning what? That means that because in the event log you could see where someone has taken off from, and of course if you need to search to have some kind of immersion in the game, this is like a sort of a cheating. So I would encourage everyone, if you are using carriers which are driving around, you please use these client files also. Of course, you can make a mode where you can actually force everyone to use that, otherwise they cannot connect to the server. And but this is some other story. So these are basic requirements for the game to give you this event log in Dogfight mode. What else we need for this thing to work? Of course, we need a database, and this database needs to be a little bit different than in normal co-op version, because it has different fields in it. Over here we have one test database for that, on which I'm gonna show you the full process of making the database, actually creating database to the server. I'm not gonna show you that, you probably know already, but I'm gonna start with the clean database without anything. So let's do it. Okay, play. Now let's refresh this thing. Okay. This database has some different fields which are not present in the normal co-op version of the database. I didn't know, and I didn't have time. I didn't want to waste time anymore while I was doing this thing like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. I asked my friend Diego to make me to actually make me this kind of scripts, which will be used together with the Visual Basic edition. I mean, adaptation of the CDCS generator. So these things actually sort of data what I need, and then the program takes it whatever it needs to actually build the mission itself. Okay, so we have the database here. Let's check the mission planner. It should be clean now. Okay, it's clean now. This is the most current version at this point. And now we can start the, okay, I already have the mission built for that, not the mission, the template, let's say, and I'm gonna start the program itself, and I'm gonna explain some of its features. Okay, this is the program. Let's quickly connect it with this clean database. Okay, we are in. Now let's connect the event log. Okay, this one. And let's put this mission to the game. Okay, database in. Let's go with the Dogfight mode tabs. This is the basic difference between the co-op and the Dogfight version. So this thing to work, you need to, of course, check these two buttons. Yes, and I'm gonna quickly go through this this areas and what you can do with them, and why they what's the purpose of them. Okay, so this is the, of course, spawn base radius when you create the base in the Dogfight version of the game, you have to specify this thing. So you can play with these numbers. I usually keep this between like 700 and 1500. So I don't want a huge spawn base radius, because it could introduce some errors when players crash close to the base and it's not registered and something like that. The spawn height, you should specify this thing a little bit higher, because in some situation when it's not the problem on the bases, it's problem on the carriers. If the carrier deck is full, it will spawn the planes in the air and they cannot be on 0 meters. So put them some give them some height. The speed between 200 and something, it's the closer to the ground it is, it should be a little bit bigger, because they will not be able to throttle up and they could crash. Over here we have max pilot per base. This is the bare minimum for Dogfight, of course, and I'm keeping that to the maximum. The maximum is actually 128, but I put here 127. So I have no idea what that is. Absolutely not. Over here we have a base friction. Base friction means like these bumpy airfields where you cannot go on the grass and expect that you will be able to take off without any issues. So moving this slider to from 1 to 4, it will be as you will basically need to use a runway, otherwise you will be jumping around like hell. Enable parachute means that you are able to exit the plane, of course. And I'm gonna check these things. I think they need to be. You can all, of course, play with them and find different versions and solutions for that. But these are the ones I have used to use. Okay, always respawn off. Airspan if deck carrier is full on. This is like self-explained. If there's no more room, the planes will be spawned in the air. Aircraft limitation on off. What is that? This thing will basically, if you set two planes of some type to airbase or carrier or whatever, you will get two of these planes. You won't get 16 or something. Then airbase lose planes. Yes, so these two things like work together. Static planes count in airbase losses. Well, you can do that because in normal co-op version, if you had some static planes on the around the runway, and when you destroy them, of course they will be counted as losses, because every object is counted through the database. Over here, if you check this, basically it will remove the number of aircrafts available for humans, and on top of that it will be used through the SEOW database itself. So you can have that, or you don't need to use that feature. Personally, I'm not using that, because if I have like two planes on some airbase and they are static and they are shown and someone gets there and they get killed, players won't be able to use those two planes at all until the, of course, next mission, when these things will be removed and new one generated. Use static planes as spawn point. Okay, I'm using this. Why is that? Because AI flights are immediately spawned on the runway, and human flights on that airbase are spawned on these static points, and they actually need to uh, roll to the runway, and they need to taxi, and it gives some kind of immersion, if you ask me. I would love to see that for the AIs also, but this came in the later version, I think, for 12, 13 or something like that, which is not supported by HSFX. Over here, return aircraft to static plane position. I'm not using that because you would need to basically come to the place where you have started from to actually return plane to the airbase count, and I'm not using that. Home base icon not moving for carrier ops. Okay, this is a good feature because everyone when the in dogfight mission, when they join to the server, they will be able to see where the base is, and if this carrier, for example, is moving around, they will immediately know where the carrier is. So if you press this button, the icon will be static, and of course they will know that in first second, but they won't have any clue in which heading this plane this carrier has gone, and they will need to search for it. So I'm leaving this as on. um, you can over here you can disable spawn for the bases, allied or axis, whatever designer wants, and friction basically enables this feature over here. Let's go to dogfight option, MDS. Okay, we have here MDS advanced mode. Basically this will work with ships. You can specify the refresh rate of the radars, which will in this particular case these things will be shown on the minimap, unlike the SEOW radar, which is actually in co-op version where the game produces these radar log files. These things is sort of on game level. Okay, so I didn't use this radar at all, but it's up to the designer to do whatever he thinks and whatever he wants. This enabler tower comms, I'm not quite sure, but I think this feature is for vectoring to home bases. So we were like we wanted to have it as much realistic as possible, so no icons, no where do I need to go to come to base. You need to listen basically either the Morse codes and figure out where is your plane in relation to the carrier and go there, or you should have looked for this needle to point you in the direction where this beacon for your carrier is, for example on the Jap side. So this is for me this is always off. Hide players count on home bases. Okay, this feature is also very nice because you could have like 15-20 people coming to one base, and maybe for that reason the enemy side will also come closer, and oh, this will be something interesting over here, let's go on that base. I'm not gonna fly from who knows how long and which distance, because everyone is here. I didn't want that to people to see that, because they could anticipate what can be in some area. So I'm leaving this thing to on, because it will hide any human players connected to the base. Disable AI radio so they won't chat all the time over there, I think. Despawn landed AI planes. Yes, we want that. MDS hide unpopulated area. Okay. This feature works like If there are no humans on the base will not be shown to the minimap, so players will not be able to even spawn from it. They won't bother with checking them. Of course, it doesn't work for AI. AI business is normal, and they will fly from this base no problem. Scout as radar, yes, you can have a dedicated plane which would go and be used as a scout and reveal the ground and air targets. I didn't try to use that and I didn't test it, so I'm not sure how this thing works, but all of these things needs to be, I didn't invent them, they need to be inside the mission file for Dogfight version. So over here we have the scale for that plane, and over here we have these craters made by bombs. Well, someone said to me that these craters are collidable, so someone might use these to bomb the runway, for example, and to leave these things visible, and so plane could crash into them if you have some kind of idea about that, what could be what for or what those can be used. And of course you are just adding and removing the timing of how long they're gonna be visible in the game itself. Then let's go and remove the host aircraft, because in dogfight mode we don't need that thing. The other stuff are usual ones, we don't bother with them. Let's see where the host this flight is. Okay, so we don't need this in dogfight mode. Let's add load full strength. Okay, make database connection now, generate mission. Over here we are specifying the first thing, how long this mission will last, and at this point we could press initialize the campaign, but we will not until, no, actually I already done that. Yes, okay, yeah, too much alcohol last night. So okay, let's do this initial campaign. Let's go to mission. I have this mission prepared as a template. Open, and new campaign is up. Let's open, it should appear over here, and let's see what is it, if everything looks how it should without errors. Okay, first thing, we're gonna remove mission in progress, which are basically things in the template, which I have done. Remove in progress. Okay, okay, now let's see if this thing works. Okay, now it's done. Well, we could go and start planning on this thing at this particular moment, but we will not, because in this database I have some scripts which require, actually this one, which requires 00 dot, and as you can see in our object mission data we don't have that because we have a name, so it will not work. This is the thing you need to really take care of first when you are doing this thing. So I'm gonna make 1 hour clock advance, so I can get all the necessary ingredients for this to work. Okay, now let's refresh. We have it now, and I will drop this here. 1600 hours, and now it's 17. Now we can start planning. Let's go and do that in some more detail view. First of all, I'm gonna make the task force because I don't want these ships to collide with each other. Show task, no. So create. I'm in admin mode, so I can see both sides. Let's make them Essex is the man. Create the fleet, and now we will plan this fleet into the wind so planes can easily take off. Let's see the weather. Wind 83. Okay, so I'm gonna take this task force and roughly take this heading during the takeoff. I don't care about that much later. You could also keep that in mind and put this ships later in the mission when you expect your flights to be returned from a mission to also be into the wind. But for this particular case, I don't want to do that. No, so I don't care. So finalize mission. Okay, so we have a moving carrier. I'm gonna make some flight in this carrier. Let's go with Wildcats. And I'm gonna plan some basic route. I'm gonna give them like maybe here. No. Then here. Yes. Okay, they will. Jeez. Okay, remove that. They will patrol in this area for 10 minutes, and now I'm gonna land them back to the carrier. I don't care about loadout and the thing for them. And now the most important part, what we need to take care of, and what we need to have in mind. Actually, commanders will need to completely understand this thing and basically have focus when they are. It can be changed later, but just keep in mind that for AIs, whatever you plan for AIs, you need to press this button. This will basically enable to sort out the AIs from the humans. And for humans, born places, this dogfight thing you already saw in the mission file will be created. However, for the AIs, it's completely the same in co-op version and dogfight version. So we need this for AIs. Then I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add more flights to actually populate the carrier. I'm gonna also give them this AI thing, and I'm gonna commit this mission. So mission is registered. YR3 because one is ground and two are air. Also, at this particular moment, the mission planner has some error, some bug, which I already reported to Mr. Shades to fix. The problem is that naval-based planes are able normally to register the escorts with them, while ground-based planes are not, and I'm gonna quickly show you why and how it's not. I have no clue why, but how this thing looks like, so keep that in mind. I'm using this flight of 4 zeros, and I'm gonna send them around. I'm gonna land them, and let's say I check them as AI, and I'm gonna give them another flight of 4 for their escort. Let's them do the full route, and now I'm gonna commit. Pay attention to this. The flight is registered in this particular moment, but when I press refresh, it's gone. It's not in the database, it's not anywhere. It's gone. So it doesn't mean that ground-based planes cannot be planned. Of course they can, but at this particular moment, until this error is fixed, you cannot use escorts for the ground-based planes. Keep that in mind. So let's land this flight without anything. We can give them like combat patrol here, and now we can end this flight here. Okay, now let's go to some more flights. I'm basically adding this thing so we have something to shoot at. Okay. Combat. What is that? Reject. Flight. Reject. Okay, now land. Fat fingers. Okay, some more fuel, and let's add some bigger guys for okay, number 7 ground attack, for example, and let's go back to base. Okay, it's empty, so it must be something with the loadouts in the database. Maybe HSFX, I didn't check HSFX mode or whatever. So it's fixable easily for you if you remember the loadouts for this wildcats were present, so it's not some kind of error. Okay, I'm pressing this thing, and I'm gonna add what we have here. Jeez. Axis unit. Okay, let's see. 43 1C. Okay, let's do that. 43 1C. Okay. And we will land them here. That's it. Okay. So we have now seven missions, and I'm gonna add something for me. So I'm sorry. Let's add some SBD to Yorktown, for example. I'm gonna add 2 of them. And for humans, you can plan something. For example, if you want to bomb, I don't know, this thing here, you can plan and bomb the full flight, even though it's for humans. But I don't care about that. I always plan humans like this, just 6 waypoints and make them land. Now human needs to be off, of course. I'm gonna be able to load up my plane and the fuel, everything on the carriers when I spawn. So this is it. 2 planes, return back to base, and that's it. And now I'm gonna add one more of some different type. Let's do that with this Devastator. I'm gonna add just one plane, also 6 points or 7. Just a second, I need to press S close to carrier I want, because it will not give me to transfer one flight uh, if the coordinate is closer to some other carrier. So human 20%, okay. Now let's go and check AI secret. No. So over here, if commanders are already planned something and they want to replace it and switch it from AI to humans, this is the way to do that. So AI yes, commit variation. This one yes, commit variation. Cool. Okay. This one yes. This is like a bunch of them. I forgot to place them to be. And this is yes, 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 and we are missing this one. This is the last one. Okay, so I don't care about jabs. I'm gonna fly just these 3 planes. Over here we have a secret flight. Yes, yes. We have 2 SBDs for me and 1 Devastator also for me. So this is basically it. What we need to do now, we need to press build mission. I did set where this will go, and let's do it. Solomon's mission has been built. Let's see the mission. In the mission file, I still have one error with the spaces. I'm gonna fix this in some later version of the generator, but at this particular moment you will need to delete it, because I don't know, maybe it will produce the error during the analyze thing, maybe not, I have no idea. So let's open this. We have the time, mission, MDS thing, what we set. Respawn time was made in the code directly, so basically it will track the mission length, and it will add more time than actual mission length for respawning the ships. This thing needs to be in the dogfight mission. However, we don't want respawning of already killed ships, because it will make a mess if something is killed like in after 30 minutes and it resurrecting like 1 hour or something. So this thing is always longer than the actual mission length to overcome this problem. Okay, we don't have a host over here. We have all the AI flights. So how many we should have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 altogether. Minus 2, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have these 6 things. All of them have AI, and this is the small thing I need to fix in the code. Like I said, I have no clue if this is gonna produce error or not, but for now it is like that. I had that sorted out like 5 years ago, but I thought, okay, nobody wants to play that game. Well, everyone switched to the great battles, so I deleted the code and everything, and when these guys few months ago, or days or weeks, I don't remember yet, asked me, is it possible? Then, oh shit, I went to all the hard drives and collect the pieces which were not completed, and I had to recode basically most of the things again, and of course in 5 years I forgot like a lot. So let's go. The ground war is like in both versions the same. The stationaries are the same, no problem. And what's the difference is this thing on the bottom. Over here, as you can see, I have born place created, just one, because I selected just one base and plan for myself. And as you can see, we have two SBDs available and one TBD, and the side is US, of course. So the mission is ready to be hosted. Now let's do the, so we can close it. I need to connect to the server. Okay, these are my previous tests. Okay, quit. Yes. Now I'm gonna drop the mission. Here. These are my previous tests. Okay. Mission. Here. Ah. All right, of course. Now, like I said, you need to pay attention that you have the server files. And let's fire the game. Okay, multiplayer, create, dogfight, 128, create. You can play with the difficulties over here. I already did that. External views. If you want it more harder, you can disable these icons, outside views and thing, or you can make outside views only available on the carrier, on the ground base until you take off. It's up to the whatever you want to achieve with it. Then load. So from our perspective, this game is on. You don't need to, on the server side, you don't need to press anything, you don't need to go anywhere, you just leave it like it is. Now I'm gonna put that down. Let's see our game. Okay, let's try to connect to the server. Connection successful. Good. Okay, as you can see, other bases are hidden. We checked that in the settings, and there's only one born place made for me. It should have two type of planes, and it's not moving. So let's see what we have here. TBD SBD3. Okay, let's take the SBD3 first. Starting. Track car looks okay. Let's see guys. Looks promising. You can use catapult or you can take off like I am now, because I'm alone here. Ships are shelling the coast. I would say bombs, gear up. And I can crash this plane into the water. Okay. Refly. Selecting again SBD3. Starting. Airborne, rolling. Up. Away. Let's try to find some friendly and shoot him. Turbulence is really bad here. Come on. Don't run. I just want to kill you. I think he had enough. If he bails, he bails. Okay. Oh, crashed. I'm gonna try to crash this plane into the ship. Jesus, this is really shaky. Controls, not streams, not respond. They should, jeez, okay. Okay, now we should not have any more SBDs available, even though we could see them here, but when we try to spawn, it should give us some kind of error or something. So selected aircraft not available, please select different one. Okay, refly, arming, TBD, it is one bomb. Okay, fly, starting engine, pitch up. Oh, wings. Okay. bomb that plane there. Plane, ship. That should be it. I don't want to have anything with jabs with this thing can. Okay, that concludes our mission for today. Jabs are falling down. Very nice. So, in the next refly, I should get there are no more TBDs. Bye. So that's it. Game is working, mode is working, so I can disconnect from the game. And let's go to server. Of course, over here the time has passed, let's say 4 hours or something, and then you also go and kill the game, for example. So let's see. Now I need event log to download event log. On this computer, log is here. And I'm gonna put the log where I have the converter for the log. This is the place. So 16, this is today's date. Okay, receive. All right, okay, so I'm closing the server. What's next? Let's open the mission because we didn't have full time and see how that mission looks like at this moment. So our mission has started. This file, like I don't remember did I say it or not. The usual Dogfight mission will get you the system time. So whatever the time was now, like 9:37 a.m., it would start like that with system time. But we need a mission time. So these files on the server side are also making this happen to have the actual mission time here. And let's say that this mission was ended at 18, for example. And let's take a look. What do we have here? The usual stuff for ships. This is the same. This is the human flight. We are checking these directives. Basically, we need those in flight once, in flight twice, because the converter is tracking this thing to actually make the event log we gonna analyze. What this thing does, it only tracks this. It starts to give the regiments to humans if it is in-flight thing. So if you crash the plane, if you hit the carrier or something without being able to take off, you won't be registered. For this particular mission, the plane will lose ships available for players, but in the general sense of SEOW, the flight won't be registered and planes will not be lost in sense of the campaign. Only for that mission. For example, if you had two SBDs, both of them are crashed on takeoff. None of them didn't take off, was able to take off, and so none of the humans would have in-flight line, and these planes will not be available for third trial. but also they won't be killed in the campaign. They will be present on the ship later. So this is the second, and now we have a TBD. I'm searching for third one. This is the one. Let's see the AIs. The AIs have this. Oh, this one flew a little bit lower than water. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I saw some kind of explosion while I was spawning with one of the planes, so it must have hit the ship. It's his problem. Over here we can see that other planes are also getting the regiments, so everything is working from the perspective of the server files. Now we're gonna go and use the converter for this particular flight. What this converter needs are human regiments. These human regiments are present over here, and as you can see, these are two of them. I have these two columns removed, mission briefing, and because we don't need them inside the event log converter, so the only thing we need over here is this. So I'm gonna copy these two, copy. I'm gonna open Excel files. What? Okay. No. My bad. Export grid. Excel CSV. Copy to clipboard. Okay. And now I can paste them. Okay. And I need to do save as. And I need to select CSV, MDS, and these are the regiments. Replace, yes, you will need to do that after every mission because these regiments are changing from mission to mission, of course, because you don't have the same squadrons available. So as you can see over here, the converter will use these two squadrons regiment names and will search through the event log and will add one name per each in-flight thing. That means since my name is only one here, it will give me addition, let's say 31, 32, 33. If you are playing just one life, even though it's a dogfight mission, you can have I mean the rules or something where you can have just one life, so you could actually get that immersion which we had in co-op version, where you think twice. Are you going to attack this way or the other way because you wanted to stay alive? This is sort of a thing you are kind of losing in dogfight version, where oh, I have two more lives or something, and you are attacking on a sort of without no like a no-brainer, so to speak. Okay, so let's do the converter thing. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna copy the command. Over here there's another what is this thing called CSV file, aircraft names, because the plane names are not the same in the co-op and the dogfight. There are a slight difference between them, so these things sort things out by joining the and basically replacing dogfight version to co-op version. So the analyzer will understand this kind of what kind of aircraft that actually that is. Okay, so I have everything here. Let's see if this thing going to work. Conversion complete, and it will produce this event log over here. So I made a slight mistake in the generator, and I need to point it not to the X, which is original, but to the converted version, of course. So this is event log. Okay. So all is done. Let's see what we did. Analyze mission. Okay, no errors, which is a good thing. Over here we have event log with the current mission time. And let's go and take a look at the mission planner. Okay, prior missions. Let's go in details. Oh, ships were busy, I can tell. Let's see. Okay, we have Wildcat lost. Let's go to the statistic. This is a new version of the mission planner, and I can bet there should be something to be worked on. As you can see, it has made me as sortie 1, sortie 2, sortie 3. And I expect error. Okay, we already have them here in this thing, but we should not have them inside of this. We should have clean, and we have a clean thing. What was lost, what's not. So 2 SBDs, 1 Devastator, 6 Wildcats. What did they do? They must be exploded for some reason or crashed into the ships flying that low. Colorado killed, blah blah blah. Okay, landscape. This is me hitting the water. Then this is me trying to trying to kill my own ship. Okay. In second sortie, I flew and shot down Ace Pilot. He didn't even see me behind him. Okay, so this is it. And veteran, blah blah blah. Sortie 3, I had this TBD, crashed into Colorado, made some scratches on it, but nothing major. And basically this is it. I would say too many too many Wildcats lost, 6 of them, for what? For no reason, and I don't see that many crashed. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they had a dogfight. Very nice. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these guys were actually shot down by enemy planes. Good. So this is it. What we need more, I need to go through this code and figure out what are the errors and make this thing possible to be displayed, to track the sorties for the players. But this is no this shouldn't be this shouldn't be a big problem because we already had that working, but like I said, this is a new version of Mission Planner, and that's more or less it. Let's refresh. Multiple simplified but okay. Let's open the full sector. No errors. Prior missions are here, and we can plan for the next one. So more or less, you got the idea what can you expect from it and how this thing can be used. Cheers, guys. Bye.